All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are talking about the overwhelming, and I mean overwhelming, scientific evidence that points to a real solution for those stubbornly low reading and math scores we hear so much about. And this isn't about some new fad. This is about the true science of reading and how something as incredible as multilingualism can literally rewire a child's brain for success.
So let me just start with this question. What if the key to fixing one of the biggest crises in education wasn't some new, complicated, expensive program? What if it's been right under our noses this whole time?
Because, the reality is school districts all over the country are struggling. They're stuck with these low performance numbers in the absolute basics, English language arts and math. It's this huge shared problem that just doesn't seem to budge no matter what they try. But the research we're going to unpack today points to a foundational fix, a powerful key that's been seriously overlooked: language learning. And I'm not talking about an elective for extra credit. I'm talking about a core skill that can truly unlock academic achievement. That's right, the science is really clear on this. Learning another language isn't just a nice little bonus activity, it's a fundamental cognitive workout. It actually literally changes the brain's architecture. It turns it into a much more efficient, powerful learning machine.
So let's get into the hard data. Let's start with the first mountain of evidence: the powerful and frankly undeniable connection between learning another language and learning how to read.
Okay, to really get this, we have to talk about something called phonemic awareness. Now, this is just the ability to hear and play with the individual sounds and words. Like understanding that the word cat is made up of three sounds: k, a, and t. If you can't do that, decoding letters on a page is next to impossible. This is the absolute bedrock of reading. It's everything.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. A massive body of research shows that being bilingual acts like a super trainer for this exact skill. Think about it. The bilingual brain is constantly working to tell different sound systems apart. That constant mental exercise sharpens its ability to analyze sounds in any language.
And look, this isn't just a one-off finding. Study after study confirms it. You've got Ahler's work with Spanish-English bilinguals, Kang's with Korean-English bilinguals. They both found the same thing: superior phonemic awareness. This research proves that bilingualism doesn't split the brain's resources. It builds a single, more robust foundation for literacy. It's settled science.
But here's the kicker. This cognitive upgrade, this super-powered brain, it isn't just for reading. There's an equally powerful and maybe even more surprising link to mathematics.
Seriously, the exact same brain-building mechanisms that create better readers also have this profound impact on how kids handle numbers. Let's take a look at how that works.
And we're not just guessing here. A huge landmark meta-analysis, which is set to be published in the super prestigious journal Bilingualism, Language and Cognition, has confirmed it with rock-solid evidence. There is a direct link between studying a new language and performing better in math. So how in the world does this happen? Well, learning a language strengthens three core brain functions. First, working memory. That's like your brain's RAM, its temporary scratch pad. Second, attentional shifting, your ability to switch focus without getting lost. And third, symbolic reasoning. That's the skill of understanding that one thing can stand for another, like a letter or a number. And guess what? Those are the exact same skills you need to tackle complex math.
And the best part? We can literally see this happening inside the brain. Neural imaging studies show that when you're solving a math problem, the language centers of your brain light up. Your brain is actually borrowing its language structures to handle the logical steps in math. It's all connected. So when you step back and you look at all the evidence, from brain science, from psychology, from education studies, when you put it all together, the conclusion is just, well, it's inescapable. The findings from all these different fields, they don't just rhyme. They sing the exact same song. All of this data points in exactly the same direction, and it proves this central idea. Learning another language doesn't just add one more skill. It fundamentally rebuilds the brain's cognitive architecture. It's like upgrading the entire operating system, priming it for higher-level thinking across the board. So what does this new and improved brain architecture do? Well, it creates this holistic academic lift. The brain gets way better at abstract thinking and analysis, it becomes a master at spotting patterns, and, maybe most importantly, it builds these shared mental frameworks that support both strong literacy and strong numeracy.
You get one intervention that boosts two of the most foundational skills.
Let me just be crystal clear here. This is not some fringe theory. This isn't a new idea we're trying out. This is the solid conclusion drawn from decades and decades of rigorous, peer-reviewed scientific research.
So that brings us to the most important question of all, right? What do we do with this information? Because the clarity of this science isn't just interesting, it's a mandate for action. And the time to act is not later, the time is now. So this is a direct message. This is for every single school district leader, every local and state policymaker, and every community of families out there whose schools are fighting and struggling with reading and math scores.
Everybody's been looking for some kind of magic wand, right? A magic bullet to fix these problems that just won't go away. But what the science is screaming at us is that this wand isn't a mystery. It has been right there, within our reach, this whole time. And this quote from the research just says it all with so much passion. All underperforming K-12 school districts, especially in the areas of English language arts, ELA, mathematics, and science, must take notice and act. The savior they all have long been waiting for has been within their reach all along. Language learning as a core skill and practice throughout K-12 education. The potential here is just enormous. It could change everything for so many kids. Which leaves us with one final urgent question that we really have to ask ourselves. If the science is this clear, why are we still waiting?